Hi. So here's the thing. Started going through all this, and I started showing to the camera memories from this box, and I realized really there's too many little things in here that don't have a lot of memory or not a lot of good story to tell. So I'm just gonna go through some of the highlights quickly, and give you the more interesting stories. So first off, I guess let's start with this. This is from 2000 to 2002 World Cup. And if you don't know anything about 2002 World Cup, do a Google image search. Everyone was in red during the 2002 World Cup to support Team Korea soccer team. It was an incredible time. I even have a T-shirt that says "Be the Reds" in in my closet. Okay, other cool things. Cool thing. This yo-yo. It sounds silly, but it's from some people they took. We went to Walmido, which is off the coast of Incheon, which is now the international airport to Korea. And Walmido is basically a big, what do you call it? Like where there be roller coasters and rides, stuff like that. It's like a theme park of some sort. Um, there, they took me there, and I first ride I went on was a Viking ship that goes back and forth like this. I got so sick. I basically got a little cheap hotel, and that was that was it. We had a good day walking around, and it took me a lot to go on a ride. Cause I'm not the kind of person who rides very much, but I was skinnier than I am now, and I felt like I was going. Every time we were on the very tips of the ride, and I felt every time we went up, went down, I felt like I was going to fly out. So it scared me so much that I was sick, and I could not calm down. So I just said, you know what, I'm going to the hotel over there, and that's it for the day. Um, Episode 1, Phantom Menace. Nothing else to say about that. Okay, so I told you about how I like the spirit and Korea, just you know, young people just doing stuff, the energy of just doing stuff. Uh, this is from the comic world, Transformers. Of course, this is not like licensed or anything like that, but the fact that it made these postcards and they're on good quality stock and they sold them at the comic world is pretty cool. Okay, next thing. This woman, her name is Peiduna. Peiduna she's not, sorry, not was, she's an actress. She's been in actually a few Hollywood movies now. I just can't remember the name right now. I think Doomsday Book might, no, it's not that one. Um, there's a sci-fi movie which she was in. If you look at Peiduna, Peiduna. Anyway, um, I thought she was cool because I don't know. She was not just like in Korea, the women on the screen they have a certain look, certain style, certain way of being, and she was not it. I just thought she stood out. I just admired her. There's a guy that I liked a lot too. He played a boxer in a Korean movie, and last night at the gas station or something like that, which was a really it was a kind of violent movie. I didn't like it, but I liked the actor a lot. Um, the boxer one I think was called Champion. I can't remember his name, but if you see the movie, he was the boxer character in the movie. Okay, another thing from the 2002 World Cup. Time magazine. Can you feel it? World Cup fever. It was huge. So that was a cute photo. That's a good photo in here about the event, but one thing that I remember there's a few good articles in here. One of them was how basically it's interesting that it was the Korea Japan games, and Korea and Japan, it still at that time and still to today have a lot of issues that they work out, historical issues. So for them to get together for this event was actually quite an impressive thing. Okay, I'm also show one of these. I I taught young people. I was going to say I taught a little bit here and there, not a lot, but, well, actually I taught a lot, but not full time. So I met lots and lots of young people. This is from one of my students. I thought it was really cute. I got lots of these cards. This is one of the cute ones. Okay, my story was every time I would introduce myself, as Keith, right? Because that's my name. But there's no TH sound in Korean, so they would often reply kiss, and then they make a joke about it, laugh about it, whatever kind of stuff. So whenever I was trying to explain it, when I had a whiteboard handy or some way of explaining it, I would explain, saying, my name's not Kiss, my name is Keith. Never really worked, but I tried. It was, at least they would see the difference in spelling. Funny story about that. I have a friend named Rob. He probably got called Love all the time. So, yeah. Oh, this is cool. So this is a travel tip. If you ever had the opportunity to go to Korea, go to the Norimadang. It's on the east coast of Seoul. You can get there by subway. It's near Lotte World. You best talk to a tourist place first about it, because if you ask people on the street, they might not know about it. This is a flyer this is basically telling what's happening that day. It's basically an outdoor stage where they perform traditional or sometimes modern performances. You could see, I saw a lot of, I saw Pansordi, I saw the mask, there's these masks, which maybe I pull out next in another video, where they would put these masks on and tell a story of a man and a woman and their life story. It's a traditional story. I saw break dancing there. I saw these famous people that dance and jump around and almost like taekwondo kicks, but when they're also dancing, they got these things on their head that swirl around, which are these ribbons that just swirl around. pretty fun to watch. Um, what else? There's so many things. It's always different. And this is only in the summer, maybe spring. It used to be just outdoors and in a circle, and in the circle there'd be stone stairs going up. But I think they modernized it, so now there's actually chairs, and I think they got it covered. So now I think it'll go rain or shine, but I'm not sure. But it's still really cool to go to. It's worth checking out. Do you want to do film festival tickets? This isn't funny. These are Via Rail tickets. The equivalent to in the US would be Amtrak. I met a good friend in Korea. He's American and he lives in New York. I live in a suburb of Toronto. You can get to either city by train. It's a long train, but it's still one train and less than 1 day travel. We talked to a meeting for a very long time. Kept talking and talking and talking and talking. And then one day I just got fed up and I worked very early mornings. We're talking 4 to 11 maybe at that time. And I just asked him, "Do you want me to come meet you?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course. But I mean, today. I mean, now." And I literally finished work, walked to the train station because it's in between where I lived and where I worked at that time, and hopped on a train and went to see him. So we talked a lot about Korea and our life and stuff like that. It was pretty fun. We still keep in touch to this day. We've known each other for some time. These tickets, I don't know when they are dated. 2008. Anyway, that was fun. Let's see what else. I'm not sure when this happens. I'm guessing August, but I could be completely wrong. This is from every year they celebrate Buddha's birthday. They're becoming a Christian nation very quickly, but they still have a very strong Buddhist influence. I would say it's probably 50-50. It's kind of broken. It looks like it's fixable, but it's going to take some effort. So the best way to explain this would unfold into like a square shape. I don't know if I can make it look like a square or not. Oh. Yeah, welcome to Korea fan inside. Yeah, there's 2 of them in here, and it just looks like too complicated to separate and figure out. So anyways, I'll just show it to you like this. This will go into a square formation and rectangle this way. And you can put a little candle inside or light bulb. I'm not sure what they would use. I think it would usually be a candle. And at night, this would be your little Buddha Day Parade lantern. There's all different kinds. I have this one, and I have another one that's on the head of a dragon. It goes like this, and then in the dragon's mouth, there's a little place where you can put a candle, like a wire mesh. I put a candle on top of that. I have that somewheres, but I don't know where. There we go. There's also a lot of lanterns that are the shape of a lotus flower, and those are pretty cool, but they're just too big and not non-collapsible. Okay, next thing. Okay, another thing I said, what I think is awesome about Korea is comic world, and just the fact that young people get together and just make stuff. Now, you get to see that in other countries too. It's just like comic world. Let me explain this again. Okay, so another cool thing I like in Korea is going to comic world and seeing what young people are creating and such. And I just thought these were cute rabbit characters. There's Dragon Ball. I'm guessing that's from Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm not sure where that one's from, but it's cute. Robin Hood, maybe. Just a rabbit in a handbook. And last one, a maid rabbit. That's it. This one, okay, got one more story. Okay, there's this game online. It's probably still going till today. It's a side-scroller RPG. It's called MapleStory. I love the characters. I thought they were really cool designs and such. So I went out and I bought cards based on it. And there's more to the story. For, I don't know, several months, I was on this kick of I wanted to find something based on the Yeti character, and there's a character named Yeti, and also just the game in general. I wanted to get some of the artwork from it because I thought it was just so cool. And Pogs were big in Korea for a while, and I bet this is from one of my students. If I remember correctly, it was a young boy. He knew I was like crazy with MapleStory, so I was watching him play MapleStory Pogs game. So they gave me these Pogs. That's so sweet of him. That was awesome. And what was really awesome is he didn't know. He gave me a Pog that I really liked. Yeti and Pepe. Pepe is the penguin. Level 78. That was awesome. I was very happy with that. So, wherever this boy is now, thank you. That was awesome. Okay, I'll tell a few more stories, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. So, okay, we'll talk about music, I guess. So, you probably already know that my favorite music group is a group called SES in Korea, and I think this was probably the first album I got while I was there. Yeah, I think this was the first one. I ended up getting a bunch more. I got all their albums. I'm not a big music buff. The story behind SES was simply in 1997 I started learning about Korea, and in 99 I went to Korea. During that time, Real Audio started becoming a streaming service on the internet. The first time I turned on a Korean radio station, the first thing I heard was "I'll Be Missing You," the remake by Puff Daddy. Second thing I heard was a song from SES from this album. So they became my favorite group because of that. Then I went to, so I got all their stuff. Then I went to Jeonju Film Festival, and I heard this group. It's two guys and a girl. The girl's a singer, and I heard her singing, and I just thought she had an amazing voice. She was singing in English, but the grammar and such, I don't remember being that great, but I just remember her voice sounded really cool. I might give this album a listen to later. And this is it right here. This is from the Jeonju Film Festival, street festivals, where I told you at nighttime there's like free movies or concerts or things just happening. This is one of the nighttime they performed at night. It was amazing. I videotaped some of it, but my camcorder was crappy. Probably good for the time, but now looking back on an HD screen, just terrible. The sound is still pretty good. Isora. She is a jazz singer. I thought her voice was very unique. This one's not opened, but her other album I listened to several times. She's got a very jazzy kind of voice, very different for a Korean person, especially at that time. I don't know if it's different. Maybe it might be more traditional. Anyway, different than pop. This last one is you probably can read that. Lance Regan Dow and the Innocent Bystanders. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but you can see it there. I just call him Lance. I've known him. There's the back of the album. I met him first year in Korea, and would go to a bar he used to play music almost every weekend. He was a really good guitar player. He really loved his music, and he ended up producing music in Korea. And he's, from what I understand, he's doing really well. I know his bass guitar player has been in one of the big pop music. It's a musician named Boa. He's been in her music video, so that's pretty cool. So if you're into music and you're in Korea, look these guys up. They've been working the circuit for a long time now. Okay, I'll start with this story. It's not much of a story, but when I first went to Korea, there was five or six, I think it was 5 subway lines in Korea when I first went there in 1999. I don't know where this is from, but this is for cleaning your camera lens or your glasses, and there is 8 full subway lines and then 3 smaller, like 8 to 10 stop subway lines, which is still pretty significant. And even from this date, there's been like 2 or 3 new lines even added to this. So I'm wondering, in the 3 to 4 years I've been out of the country, has there been even more added? Okay, very possible, very possible. This goes back to 1990. Final story. This goes back to 1999. I met this guy named Yorong. I hope I pronounced his name right. And he's from the Netherlands. He traveled China for many years. He learned Chinese. He could speak Chinese. A white guy from the Netherlands speaking Chinese. We had some interesting times. I know we hung out for at least a week, probably 2 weeks, maybe more. I can't even remember. Actually, it's been so long. Long enough that we had some good times. Yeah, probably hung out a month. I wouldn't be surprised at all because he knew some of my friends also. Anyways, so he gave me this book. It's all about the Netherlands. The story is not really this book. The story is, so at the point we met, I was able to read Korean, but not well, but read it enough to read the words, and I knew enough to order food, but only if it's something I already knew. So most of the foods I knew were just Korean fast foods, or very common Korean foods. We decided to go for like a meal for more than one person. That I've never done. I was always ordering for myself, exploring the country by myself, going around, doing things, just me. So when you order something for more than one person, it's a little bit, there's some different foods you can order because they make it in bigger amounts. We walked into this one restaurant and gave us the menu, and I knew it said meat and vegetables, but I didn't know exactly what it said. So we decided to each order it and say it was like $6, which at that time was enough to pay for a meal. Not the super fancy one, but a decent meal. Well, came back with a bowl like that big, full of meat and vegetables, but we're talking like a tiny itty bitty stew. I thought we were getting a meal. We must have been embarrassed after we ate that and left, and still hungry, of course. I was basically, my spirit of understanding Korea was destroyed, so we didn't know what to do. We walked around. We ended up finding a Chinese restaurant. We just assumed it would be run by Korean people, but we thought, you know, maybe there's a chance it would be stuff that we would recognize, or at least maybe you would recognize. We walked in. The menu was in Chinese, so that was a plus because he can read a little bit of Chinese. Second thing is, I found out at that time he was actually pretty fluent in Chinese. He ended up ordering. He said his speaking is better than his reading, so he just ordered something. He ended up ordering something for us. I don't remember what we ate, but it was a full meal. We were so lucky that happened. Since that day, my Korean's gotten a lot better. I can read a lot more Korean, and I could ask some basic questions in Korean about the food. That being said, would I make this mistake again? Possibly, because I would still need to be brave enough to ask. Like, I might be able to read to say what it is, maybe literally that's what I said, vegetables and meat. Probably didn't say, if it doesn't say the size, how would I know, right? But, anyway, that was a funny story. I think for now, this video is going longer than I expected. I had some video issues. So for now, for everyone that's contributed, thank you very much. Obviously, we're not going to reach the goal. The goal, this was not planned out right, because it was done from the heart by a friend, and I thank her very much for doing it. It made me very happy that someone actually cared to do it. I know it's a flexible funding, which means I will receive any money that's contributed. Anybody wants the money back, I'll be happy to wire most of it back. But I think what most of you would appreciate more is I'll put that money aside, put in a special account, because most of the money is from people I know directly. Only 2 contributors are not. I'll put the money aside, and the first crazy project I do, I'll get you guys, tell you guys what it is, and if you guys want something related to it, awesome. Or I'll put the money aside, and when I do go to Korea, I will send you guys something from Korea. I'll get back to you all personally, one at a time. Thank you very much. I'm going to continue doing videos like this, but in the near future, in the next couple of days, I'm going to be unemployed, which means I'm going to have more time to actually do these videos a little bit better, a little bit more planned, a little bit better scripted, actually scripted, and maybe I'll get better at doing this. So thank you very much again. Take care, and see you again.